All right, so what you're gonna need is some sort of 90-degree flathead screwdriver like this. I made this one out of a tool 4634-1 by Hazit. It's not meant for this, but the tool that they want you to have from Jag, I didn't want to order. So what you do is you go behind the steering wheel, you turn. First of all, you're gonna put the car, lift the front of the car up. The front of the car has to be off the ground so you can move the steering wheel left to right. And then what you're gonna do is disconnect the negative terminal battery, because this is an airbag. And then what you can do is you're gonna stick the screwdriver behind and push up on this. And what that'll allow you to do is have just enough leverage to get that airbag out. So I'm going to try to show you here. You're going to turn the steering wheel to 45 degrees and then get a mirror or some sort of mirror. And do you see that right there? Wow, iPhone quality here for you. You see that? Oh, what happened? See, there's a spring. So that spring right there, you're gonna have to push up. They want you to go into that little triangle area, but that triangle area is way too thin for my tool. So I just go in straight into, show you guys, I'm trying to do this with one hand. Yeah, of course it wasn't wanna, okay, there. So I go in like this, under, and then you're gonna push up on that, and that'll allow you to get it out. I won't see how it moves up like that. I can't do it with one hand, so let me take the airbag out and then I'll show you later. Okay, so right now, as you can see, my tool is in there. Right, oh God. Right there. See how it's pried up all the way to the top? And you'll actually feel the airbag release a little bit. And then all you do is you just take it and pull towards you. And then there's gonna be a connector that you disconnect right there. Just mark these so that you don't get them confused. I don't believe you can, because I think the connectors are a little bit different, but just in case, just mark them before you're gonna remove the airbag, and then you're gonna undo this nut here. Okay, so next, I like to mark everything, so even though you don't have to, but I prefer to do it. Let me show you guys real quick. See right there, just a little notch. So what you do is you go under and then pull up, like up on that, which will allow you to release that spring that locks in right there. And then you're gonna mark this, all the connectors, and on here you mark the white connector, and then you're also gonna mark the two yellow ones as well, just in case. Before disconnecting anything, once again, the negative battery has to be disconnected before you remove these, and the front wheels have to be off the ground so that you can move the steering wheel. What I like to use to remove the wheel is an impact. Believe it or not, you just hold it with your hand or wheel, and then it'll come right off. It's much easier than trying to use like a torque wrench, because the torque wrench the wheel will spin. Now, very important, before you take this steering wheel off, you got to mark the threads in there. So you're gonna have to mark with some sort of color marker, like basically here, so that you know the correct orientation when you're putting the steering wheel back, because otherwise you're gonna have alignment issues. This step, what you're going to do to get that top cover off, there's 3 Torx T30s. So you're going to remove those, and then there's going to be one there and one on the other side. You're going to use a little extension like this to get that out, and that'll allow you to take that top cover off. Oh, see how that can come off like that, and just set it aside like that for now. All right, so at the next step, I want to show you guys, this is the special tool that requires you to keep it in the Clockspring during installation. And the reason for this tool, the only reason, is to keep it aligned. So see that little arrow? You want it to be aligned right at the top. Right at the top with that little notch, and it keeps it aligned in the correct position before you pull it out when you're ready to put the steering wheel back on. Okay, so here, these marks I made, you don't actually have to do because I'm replacing this whole assembly, but there's a clip here. See how there's a clip here and a clip here? So these actually just pull out like that, and then there's gonna be a connector which you leave connected. You're just gonna leave them hanging there for a second. And then same on this side, you're gonna squeeze and then pull these out like that. So leave it to the side. And then there's going to be a couple of Torx. I believe they're T30s. We're about to find out. So they are, or maybe they're T25s. No, yeah, they're T30s. So you take your T30, you have to find it, and then you disconnect 1, 2, 3, 4. Also, if you can notice, this is the way the Clockspring came off. As you can see, the orientation for that arrow is completely off to the side. It should be like that. So ours was like this. So the reason the horn's not working is because the Clockspring internally has failed. Okay, so make sure you put these bolts in the correct order. I believe they're all the same length, but you never want to mess them up. Put them back in exactly the way you took them out. The way to remove this connector is you just press on this tab right here, and then it'll come right out. You have to remove it because you have to transfer it to the new, see, like that. You're gonna have to transfer this piece to the new Clockspring. And I believe, actually, if I'm not mistaken, this is probably the part that controls the horn function. Okay, so once you're at this step where you have all the bolts in, I think it's like 6 Newton meters. I just use a little ratchet like this so I don't over torque them. Put your stocks back in. You're going to take this piece out. Just pull it out. As you can see, there's the locking pin that goes in there. And then these two guys slide in here. At that point, you can reinstall this. Not sure what this does, to be honest with you. It's a squib for like an airbag, but I think it has something to do with like when you're pressing down on the horn. I believe what it does is possibly actuate the horn. Not 100% though. Anyway, that's back in. That's locked. That's locked. That's locked. 1, 2, 3, 4. Torque to spec. Next, you're gonna put this cover back on. There's 3 bolts that go from the bottom. Put the bottom cover back on. It just has clips all around the whole perimeter. And you're almost ready to put the steering wheel back on. As you could see, this is my mark for the steering wheel right here. So this top mark is irrelevant because this little piece, all this is just a little bracket that it provides like almost like a stop for the Clockspring when you're tightening it. So it's irrelevant. The only thing that really makes a big difference is this right here. This has to be lined up perfectly up top here. Okay, so at this point, this right here lifts up. You can actually lift this up to get that top piece in, and then the bottom piece, 2 bolts. From here on, I won't really show you the reheat assembly because we've already seen the disassembly, but it's as simple as putting the steering wheel back on. Okay, so what you're gonna do is just have somebody hold the steering wheel while you're tightening that center nut down. Make sure that the steering wheel doesn't get moved left or right anywhere, because then afterwards you're gonna have to adjust the tie rods for alignment, and I'm really trying not to do that. Clean off the steering wheel. This airbag just clips in, so just press firmly on each side here and here. Just press it down and it will just clip right in for you. And that's it. Yeah, just when you start the car, make sure all the functions work, left and right, turn signals, make sure that the turn signal resets as it should, and horn works. Hopefully it will, and you're good to go.